Hi folks, Gamerbug here again, and once again we are back with the Black Death. So in my last video I covered professions and touched on attributes. This time around I want to show some of the in-game changes, so here we are in-game. Right off the bat, and as I explained in my professions video for 0.3, which is this update, we begin life as a beggar, and you may recall I said they cannot be customized in their appearance, and as you can see this is true. So we're going to want to spend as little time as possible as this freak. With that in mind, hopefully I can help you charge through the beggar class and move into the realms of actual worthwhile professions. But before I go into the ins and outs of earning skill points and surviving as a beggar, I want to talk about the changes in the game, at least some of the basics. First off, there is the user interface, and I know I have joked about this many times before, but yes, it has had a facelift. Again. Now I'm having difficulty recalling the UI from 0.24, which is the last video I did when I talked about updates, so I've missed 2.5 to 2.9. But I think it was a bit sort of clearer and made a bit more sense than this, but it's possibly true that I'm just being nostalgic. Anyway, I'm sort of used to this UI now. As you can see, we have specific recipes on the left hand side, and you click into them with these icons here, which sort of represent the profession skill lines in the middle, just here. I say sort of, as everything is sort of hodgepodged under these rather than these, and not all of it makes immediate sense. For example, we have a picture of armour. And you can obviously find armour in here, but you can also find clothing options there, and here. You also have in this bags, which are not armour, and you also have in this cloth, which doesn't make sense in here, and there's a reason for this, and I'll explain that in a moment. Along these lines we have weapons, which is fair enough, it's pretty much just weapons, but then we have tools, and there's a few things among them that aren't tools, and blah blah blah. This is sort of a trend, and at the end I guess you can gather what these all are: building, medical, food and drink. But the end here is something I guess you'd call this ingredients for recipes here, such as thread, string, and all these. A lot of these are used to make it. I mean, I would put stone trap under tools and wooden trap, and it's like miscellaneous, but I think a lot of this is stuff that you need to create other stuff. And this is where I think cloth should belong, to be honest with you, but it's not in here. Is this the end of the world? No, not at all. Just seems a little bit counterintuitive. So over here we have the profession skill sets, as I say, and each one, if you hover over it, will tell you the next skill to be unlocked when you go up a level, which is nice. Also, if you hover over a skill over on the right, then you can see a highlight around the respective box. So if you look at this one, bone knife, you can see banditry has a little highlighted glow around the edges. It's nice, doesn't do anything. I suppose it's nice though. So okay, up here we have our experience bar, which when filled gives us a skill point. So these are obviously the number of skill points that we've got at any one time. Each skill point can be spent on attributes that cost 1 point each, or skills over here that cost 1 initially but then increase as the levels go up. The maximum any skill or level of skill will cost is 4. So it's worth noting, and most people know this who've played the game, but if you die you lose any points you gain that are not spent. So if there's any up here, when you die they're gone and then your experience is gone. But you also lose your attributes. They reset to 0 and you have to build them back up again. Skills, however, are not lost. They are always kept. Just a quick note, to increase your skills, you click these buttons here. To increase your attributes, you click these buttons here. You don't click on the actual skill itself to pick what you want. You have to just click there and it'll take you to the next level. So yeah, here are the aforementioned attributes, and as I said, each costs 1, and you can raise each one to a maximum of 10. Now some of these are great and some of these are less so, and I think some don't actually work currently, but hopefully in time they all will. I will say the best ones to start with is strength, which improves damage with hand weapons, and more importantly carry weight, and health, which increases, well, health. Now whether to improve a stat or a skill is something of a dilemma, or it is when you spawn as a beggar. But as you're going to want to be a beggar for as short a time as possible, and unless you desperately want to unlock the next profession quickly, which requires 5 levels on all skill trees, I'd say don't bother with points here, or at best put a few in strength only. Down here's our crafting menu now. It's what you'd expect. Pick a recipe over here, and sometimes they can be a pain to locate, especially in here. You go, okay, I've got a small shack, I want to make a wooden door, and you got to go, oh, where's the wooden door? And it's right the way down, ooh, here, even when it's been unlocked. So yeah, anyway, the requirements required to make anything I put here, and then you can click craft if you have all of the required items. You can increase the output here as long as you have the, again, required number of stuff to do it, and make multiples. And the time it takes to do so is explained here. And that's that really. So over here we have our equipment slots. For what items we currently have equipped. It's easy to forget when you're considering your weight and you're carrying about stuff here, especially as stuff auto equips on here if you pick it up off the ground and you haven't already got something. So for example, if I picked up a helmet off a body or something, or out of a chest, it would automatically equip here if I don't already have a helmet on. Now you're not gonna forget probably that you have a helmet on and that, because you'd obviously see it on your character here, but arrows are easy to pick up off crossbowmen and archers, and you might forget you have them equipped at all, so you could end up with tons here that's adding up to your carry weight. So just worth thinking about. Right, so that's done, and then underneath here you basically have all of your stuff that's not equipped. So this is items that are equipped, and if they're not equipped here, that's because they'd be equipped in the hotbar. We'll go into that in a minute. And basically I want to show this off. So the easiest way for me to do this is to try and find some stuff to pick up. That's not really what I was hoping for. I'll be back once I've got a few bits and bobs. Okay, so we're back and we've collected a few things to demonstrate some stuff. So as I said, under here we have our items, and they stack up when you collect multiples of them, depending what they are. Weapons don't stack, neither do armor or tools. But most other things do stack. It's worth noting that you can split stacks, but if you split a stack, I'll talk about the UI being a bit iffy in a minute, you can't actually join them back up. So ta-da, there's no way for them to now suddenly become one. You're going to have them like that. You basically have to drop them and pick them back up, and they'll be back together as a 4. You can also put them in a chest and take them back out, and the same thing will happen. It can be annoying if you accidentally split things weirdly, like you went like that and then you went like that, and as you can see, you suddenly end up with it's just annoying. It doesn't matter. It's just annoying. So yeah, basically it works fine. But that you also, and I can probably test this out over here. So I can put all of these in here and they all stack up, and then take them back out, and I'll have 4. But you can't split them to put them into any kind of storage. You can only stash them or drop them. You can't take out just singulars as well, so you have to basically put them in your inventory, split them up, and then put back what you don't want, which is not exactly ideal. Also true of gold. Gold you can stash. Well, that doesn't normally work. I usually just have to stash the whole lot. I don't know if that's because that's a crate. I will take it back if that allows me to stash gold in a chest. Normally, it won't let me split that. It basically says stash or drop on gold as well. So maybe they have changed that. I'll take that under advisement. I don't have a chest to try it out on. Because world crates do act slightly differently. I know that you used to be able to do that, so maybe that's a recent re-edition. I will test it with a proper chest at some point. So, overridingly, it's not a bad user interface. It needs a bit of work, and there is the final issue that I just talked about. Can you see? The tooltip is not on my screen. And if I go here and right click, I can split. But if I go here and right click, the option to split off the screen over here. You can see as I move further across, it moves with me. Now, that is not ideal. It also happens on here. So, dum, and it's gone. It's very strange. I don't know why it works like this as well, because you would assume it would make no difference, but it's like the lower down the screen the thing is. So yeah, the tooltip goes off. This is because of resolutions. Any resolution over 1080p, and I play at 1440, it disappears off the screen. This has been in the game, this issue, since 0.19. That's 11 updates ago. Worth thinking about. Anyway, let's move to the on-screen interface. My guy may starve at some point, but I'm not too worried about it. So he's had a bit of a revamp here and there. I can't do anything. I can't sort of show this off. But in the top corner on the right, you can see that we have the tutorial quests are put up there for us to undertake. I will go on about those in another video, but they're new for 0.30. Also new is, if you look in the left hand top corner, there is something that's basically a world event. These are sort of things that people can undertake. They're sort of tough missions where you can group up to kill some bad guys and get some loot. It's a nice addition. It just needs, and it adds a little extra thing to the game. Probably needs a bit polished, but it's actually quite nice. I quite like it. In the bottom right, we have our health bar, and in the centre of that is our wellness gauge. The higher the wellness gauge is, I think it goes from 0, I think, to 4. 4 is the maximum it can be. It means how quickly, and that little arrow there is another thing. It shows you how quickly you will regenerate health. We have got the hunger and thirst meters above that, which do pretty much what you'd expect them to do. They show off what your hunger and thirst is. And I'll go into this in the next video, and I can't, it's really hard to show this off. I can probably do it here. So here, when you're infected, there is a meter. It's like a skull with a cross through it, and it's all red, and over time it starts to fill grey, and the red washes out. That means you're infected when it's red, and the washing out is you recovering from infection. While you're infected, bad things happen. Your food and water go down at an exponential rate. and you have to keep eating and drinking until it's gone. It lasts a couple of minutes, I think. Sometimes it seems to go faster. Obviously, I can't show that off because I'm not infected, but that's where it would appear just here. In the middle here are the hot bars, which is pretty much everything you would expect. I've got some cash, so that's nice. I can go get some food so I don't starve to death. You know, you drag and drop onto the hot bar and you press the button, corresponding button, to utilise whatever is in that hot bar. One, annoyingly, is always fists. Not sure I like that or not, but fair enough. They're hot bars. They do the job. They are nice. They should have been in the game ages ago, but last time they were put in, I praised them like crazy. I still do. So that's that. Above that, we've got our day survived. We have gold on our person and our maximum carry weight and our current weight that we are carrying. We also have experience points going across the centre. And down here we have skill points accrued. So although they're here, they're also here. That's your experience bar. And here as well. So you don't have to come into this screen to see them. What else? Oh, at the top here we have a compass. You can see at the very top of the screen. Underneath it says where we're based. It says the wilderness, which is strange because I'm pretty sure it should say Freeman's Port. But now it says the docks. And entering the docks. Maybe the wilderness is where Freeman's Port is located. We can have a look on the map in a minute and figure that out. Now the thing about that is it does show the world event normally. I'm assuming it's gone because it's not in my top corner. As like, so you can follow it. But what it doesn't show is your house anymore. That does not show up on there. I guess it's because you can own multiple houses, but it is a bit of a shame. But it doesn't matter quite as much as you would think. Mainly because of the map changes, which I'll talk about in a moment. I'm just going to see if there's any food for sale. Also, over in the bottom left-hand corner is the chat box, which has had quite an improvement due to the fact that you can now actually see what the hell is being typed in it. Let's just eat that. Cabbages don't give enough food, but it'll do. We'll just go stand up here, out the way of people, on this gallows. Yeah, it could do with the local chat option on that, so you only talk to people within a certain radius, and then the general chat to talk across people across the entire server. That isn't in here. Most games have that, and I wish it did. But yeah, like I say, the font size has been increased, so plus for that. So the last thing to discuss is the map. Oops. Now the map has 2 great editions and 1 okay edition. The first great edition, in my opinion, is it shows you all the facilities available in a town. So we've got plague doctor, food seller, farmer, that's a blacksmith or anvil, that's a workbench I think. That's actually, it sells weapons, so it's a bit confusing because it's the same thing but it's not, because the anvils in other places don't work. As you can see over here, there is no anvil but that guy's actually smashing on an anvil, so it makes no sense at all. It's nice that they show where a few in-game wells are positioned, and glad that they've brought a few of them back. I haven't actually found the one in Raven's Reach yet, but I know where this one is and this one is. And that's nice. That's a nice addition to the game. So it's still the problem that Freeman's Port has the most vendors. And it's way up here, as you can see, right in this top corner. If you want to have your home over here, not as great. Obviously your home can have this stuff, but it takes quite a long while just to own stone well. So meh. So yeah, these places just feel massively unrealised because of it. The other issue is that all the towns and vendors aren't on here, so to speak, Crutchley, it says, has a town earl where you can buy land contracts, and it has here food, but I've been there and it has this, which is an artisan that sells clothes. So that's missing. There is a town or whatever here that actually sells food. That's not on there. And Camp Blackburg here has a weapon seller and a food seller, and that's not on there. And there's a guy here who sells bandages and stuff. He's not quite a plague doctor, but he's a monk. So, yeah, bit weird that he's not on there either. The other awesome addition is that you can use your mouse to point at things on the map now. Now, most people would think that, well, that's stupid, but as a content creator, I love this. It's brilliant. And I'm pretty damned happy about it. So, other things that are okay is we now have, as you can see here, it tells me where I am on the map, and there's a little exclamation mark that appears whenever a world event is that shows you whereabouts to find it on the map. Now this thing here is what's splitting people's opinions, because everyone says it's like easy mode, but I don't think it really hurts for new players. So I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. What don't I like? Well, though they're not on here, but this is a very low populated server, houses are still being shown on the map. Now, I don't know if the positioning of them is actually correct, but basically if you have this on, houses are actually shown like such and such is how, or the sun is here, which I'm assuming it's probably Sunrunner, would have his somewhere over here, and it would show up, and you go, okay, well, I don't like him, I'm going to go raid his house. It's stupid. It needs removing. Like I say, it's been in here for a while, and it doesn't show the correct positionings, or it didn't used to. So, for example, I know for a fact I used to have a house just here, and it showed me as having a house in the middle of that lake. I don't know if that's still the case, but it needs removing. There is a town earl execution thing. There we go. So that you can go to now if you want to. Anyway, that's that. So that's it. All done on the interface editions, and they are overall pretty good. So well done to the developers, if I'm honest. Hopefully they'll... Oh, hang on, actually. No. I forgot one. The guild interface. So let's come out of the map. We have the option to make guilds now. This was introduced a few updates ago, but as I say, I've not covered the game since 0.24. So you press O by default to bring this up, and here you can create a guild. We'll call it the Gamerbugs. I won't because I can't spell. You can set a message of the day. I don't know why you can set the message of the day. I have absolutely no reason why that would even be a thing, but you can. And then you can choose your icon for your guild. Now, most of these look quite nice, but for some reason this one is really blurry and this one is really blurry, but all the rest are sort of okay. And then sort of make it a bit more unique. You could go, okay, I'm going to have that. I'm going to change the pattern in the background to stripes. I'm going to change the colours to that and that. And then I'm going to change the icon colour to that. Ta-da! And we create a guild. You can declare war on other guilds here on this guild page. I'm actually higher ranked than somebody else on the server. That makes no sense at all. I have one member. I don't know what contracts actually are. No idea. That's my message of the day, which I could edit. That's if I wanted to change the logo, I think. But I don't know if you can actually do that. It doesn't look like it. That's the members. And then I can choose to, like, destroy it. Or maybe it's because of that. No, it's got nothing to do with that. Okay. I don't know why that's yellow. That's the most horrendous of colours. I'm going to be honest. I don't actually know how to invite someone into a clan or guild. not that key, that's the emotes. It's not the E. Maybe you walk up to a person and press E. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've never actually done it. But I will find out for you, and hopefully I'll let you know. I guess, anyway, it's a nice addition. I like it. Being able to make your own guild and stuff like that's quite nice. Yep, that works. So I don't have a guild now, and I am not considered part of the guilds on the server. How do I get out of this? Not there. Also, as I say, guilds are shown by the number 1 all the way down here, which is quite nice. I'm trying to think, but I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about, because when you start the game, you're going to need to know that information. So if you're coming to this game for the first time, it's helpful to know. If you're coming back to this game from a very long break, you might also be just as confused. So that's how it all works. Overall, I like it. Again, well done. You need some polish, it needs some tweaking and some changing. But, you know, if there's one thing I know that the developers like to do, it's tweak and change the user interface. Sorry, I know I keep digging it, but it is true. So that's it. Now, my next video, because I did say I was going to tell you how to get through being a beggar, will concentrate on getting through being a beggar. Now, this guy has already been alive for a day or so, so I'm probably going to kill him off and then show you how it works. And what I'm going to do is basically show you how to get from beggar to the profession, to a profession, really quickly. But I do also want to show off the tutorials, but I don't have to show them off as the beggar, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, hopefully you found this video enlightening, and as always, until next time, thanks for watching. Gamerbug out.